you ask any of us here at Car Advice what our recipe for fun is, chances are the answer is going to include a powerful engine up front and rear-wheel drive out the back. So back in 2017, when Kia released photos of their stylish new Stinger, we were intrigued. Then when they announced that it would be packing a 272 kilowatt twin-turbo V6 with power being sent to the rear wheels, we just had to have one. So we bought this A330SI, and since taking delivery back in October 2017, we've racked up 18,254 kilometres in it. And after throwing everything but the kitchen sink at it, here's the 5 things you need to know about owning one. If you're anything like us, the first thing that grabbed your attention about the Stinger is the way it looks. Kia have come a long way since the original Rio, but how can a Kia look this good? And it looks even better in the metal than it does in photos or on video. Looks are subjective, but the overall reaction to the Stinger has been hugely positive. We've all had experiences where random people stop and ask about the car, many times confusing it for far more expensive brands. But it's not all bells and whistles. Kia? What's this? Fake bonnet vents? Really? Much to the disdain of many diehards, as far as large rear-wheel drive performance-y family cars go, the Stinger fills the void left by the Commodore and Falcon. And like those Aussie icons, the Stinger has to be practical too, and it is. The boot is massive, and access to it is superb with its lift-back rear end. We've loaded bikes, drums, production gear, and a family-sized supply of stuff for a holiday away in it, and all on board have been safe, comfortable, and happy. Even for passengers, room and comfort up front and in the second row is excellent. There are a few question marks when it comes to build quality, and yep, our car was one of the first delivered to Australia, and it has had probably a much harder life than the average Stinger, but nonetheless, there are a few issues. There's a serious rattle coming from the driver's side door, the diff whines, the boot started rattling quite early on, it's beginning to squeak and creak a bit, and a piece of plastic from the rear view mirror fell off. Also, some of the fit and finish just feels a bit cheap and nasty, and that's not great for a $60,000 car, especially one that hasn't even done 20,000 Ks yet. It's bloody fast, and it's bloody fun. The Stinger is a big car, but it hides its size really well. We do love the way it just eats up the kilometres, and while it's certainly engaging and involving, we found the rear end can feel a little light and floaty. The angle you take through a corner can be easily adjusted with your right foot, but it's not as confidence-inspiring as, say, a Merc or a BMW. But there is a certain satisfaction in the way it will wipe the smug look off an SS Commodore at the lights. At a racetrack or drag strip, obviously, we wouldn't condone that kind of behaviour at a public place. It's consistently fast too. We've tested its launch control and it clocked a 0 to 100 km/h time of 4.8 seconds 3 times in a row. And when you turn the traction and stability control off, it's off. Find a flat piece of tarmac, plant your right foot, and the Stinger will provide plenty of sideways fun. At a racetrack or a skid pen, obviously, we wouldn't condone that sort of behaviour in a public place. And then there's the way it sounds, or doesn't. Okay, wait right there. The soundtrack just doesn't match the car at all. Think more modified sewing machine than twin-turbo V6. Our Stinger has been subjected to track days, skid pans, performance and acceleration testing, and been driven at the upper limits of its abilities probably more than any other customer Stinger out there. Okay, look, it does feel a bit cheap and nasty. The soundtrack's pretty underwhelming, and we've had a few quality issues which the 7-year warranty will definitely help sort out, but we do really like this car. It's just a shame we don't see more on Aussie roads.